No, let's move on to you, buddy. That was a good start.
All right, that was fun. That was fun.
Okay,
so this is I got some ranting done already, so we're just going to do this really quick. As a news update, Brandon Beane has hired a new Buffalo Bills head coach. It is going to be lame Joe Brady. He is...
You knew it was coming.
You had been sending me memes, and I'd been like, I hope that's not true. Previous viewers will recognize Joe Brady as one of the architects for everything bad this season. The big thing about Joe Brady is that he calls 5 plays, and 2 of them are screens. He is riding on the coattails of Josh Allen and James Cook and has no ability to coach a team if he doesn't have talent. And now he's our head coach. Hooray! Moreover, there's been all kinds of fiascos already since this has happened. The big thing is that they are still trying to figure out who to not blame for Keon Coleman. And now they have put up a big sign saying, there is no Warren Bossing say. Keon Coleman loves being here.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
And Joe Brady did the equivalent of Tom Cruise jumping on the couch for Katie Holmes saying, oh, I love Joe Brady. I love Keon Coleman. He's the best.
Yeah.
I was always on board with Keon Coleman. It's like, dude.
That's not helpful.
It's not what your fucking owner said
not
a
only
week
that,
ago.
It's not what the fans want, and it's not what Keon Coleman wants.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman and his representatives have all been working hard to get him out of Buffalo. This is the guy you traded down twice to get.
Yep.
The 2 guys you could have had instead are fucking Brian Johnson and what's his nuts from Kansas City. I'm blanking on his name.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. I can't. I simply cannot. It makes me so frustrated. But you know what? Here's the thing that I like. I'm not alone. Bills fans are fucking pissed.
Yep.
It's so everybody's upset. Kelly got home and I told her what happened, and she looked on Instagram and all of the comments were angry comments about, oh my God, this is bad. This is so bad. This is the worst thing we could have done. I can't believe how stupid we are. We're now in full rebuild mode. Like, they're going to call it a reload. It's not a reload. We're in rebuild. I say, first off, if it were me, we wouldn't be in this situation to begin with because I would have fired Brandon Beane.
Yes.
But if it were me and I had the current system set up, I would give Brandon Beane a year. And if we don't make the playoffs or we don't make the Super Bowl next year, he is also fired. And Joe Brady is one and done.
Yeah.
And we start all over again.
And it's the frustrating thing with me is I'm looking at what's going on in Buffalo, and it's I want to yell to Pagula, this isn't 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You don't own this division. The Patriots are in the fucking Super Bowl. They're one of the youngest teams in the league.
Here's the thing. I realized the most damning thing about Brandon Beane. All right? It's not just that he trades away picks. And it's not just that he, in the 8 years he's been taking guys in the draft, he has only drafted 2 Pro Bowlers, and one of them is Josh Allen, and the other one is James Cook, which were both not because he drafted them. Those cards came up crazy good.
Yeah.
James Cook less so, but nobody thought Josh Allen was going to be Josh Allen.
No, in the first couple of years, did not look like he was going to be Josh
Allen. It's that. All of this, I am convinced. And this is, big tinfoil hat energy. But let me take you back a few years to the moment where we were supposed to be turning the wheel towards being great. Mm-hmm. We were going to crank it up from good to great. We had John Brown and Cole Beasley as our main wide receivers, and that wasn't going to do it with Josh Allen showing sparks of greatness like he was. And so what did they do? Late first round. We're on the clock. We trade our pick to the Minnesota Vikings and get Stephon Diggs. And we have everything happen that happened afterwards. Alan Diggs, 2020, all of the everything. Some real big highs, some very deep lows, and ultimately a very acrimonious end. What if he doesn't trade that pick?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson is that pick.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? We have 5 years of contractual control starting in 2020 with Justin Jefferson, who was instantly out of the box great. He didn't take 2 years to get good. Out of the box great. Brandon Beane is an idiot.
Yeah.
Brandon Beane is an idiot.
And also look at the success that Diggs is having right now in the Patriots with New England, and you wonder, okay, when that relationship started to fracture between him and Allen, that was during Joe Brady's offensive coordinator time. It's like, if he couldn't hold them together as the OC, because your job isn't just call plays, your job is to keep the offense a cohesive group. If he could have kept Diggs' head in the game, I think it would be a much different story the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But obviously he had no ability to keep these two or keep Diggs happy, and that went off the rails, and now Diggs is going to win a Super Bowl before Allen potentially.
Don't even say that. It makes me sick.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like that's on Brady, and it's on I know it's on McDermott a little bit, but Brady's the OC.
It's on right now. It was on McDermott. Now they don't have that shield anymore.
Yeah, it's on Brady.
But I think it was also deeply on Bean for the cast of characters he had brought in the last few years. Granted, he and McDermott were tied at the hip on all of those choices. But, that doesn't take away his input in that whole fiasco.
Exactly.
I'm convinced. Again, this is big tinfoil hat energy. But if we take Justin Jefferson with, I think it was the 27th pick in the first round, I think we already have two on the shelf. I think the Chiefs are not a dynasty, and we have two on the shelf. I think 13 seconds or less doesn't happen.
Yep.
I truly believe that we would have already won and been to multiple Super Bowls. And it's all because we took Diggs because we wanted the commodity we knew, instead of taking Justin Jefferson and having years of contractual control so that we could bring in other guys on the defensive side at the same time.
Well, and that's another thing. In that same time frame, what was Bean's one of his major fuck-ups? Von Miller.
Yeah.
That's all on Bean.
Yeah.
You brought in an aging defensive player with all kinds of personal issues.
Yeah.
And then, shockingly, he doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And you give him a ton of fucking money.
And he never played.
He
never played.
He had that one first season that was good. And then after that...
And he got injured partway through that season.
He got injured, and there was all that shit going on with
his pregnant girlfriend.
Yeah, and him beating her. And it's like, dude.
Yeah.
That right there, that set back the defense a ton because he cost so much fucking money.
Yeah, no, it's been really bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, we get into this constant hole. We're going to move on from football, I promise. Yeah. We get into this constant hole of we are good at finding decent talent, but we're not good at finding great talent.
Yeah.
And then we can't coach up the decent talent to be great. They can only be good. So we're not bad because we're good enough to coach up the decent guys to be good, but we can't get them to be great. So now we have to go out and find someone who is verified to be great and spend capital on them instead of taking someone who could be great. I understand 2020 hindsight, but also, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I agree.
And it's just so frustrating,
I agree.
And I get it. Jalen Reagor was the pick right before him. It could have all gone sideways just as easily as it could have gone well. But you can't help but wonder if they had where we'd be. And I really do think we'd be in a better place by now.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So there's that. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quick. Have you watched The Life of Chuck?
No.
So this is Mike Flanagan, who did House of Usher.
Okay.
And a bunch of other stuff, but what we've talked about recently is House of Usher. This movie came out last year.
Okay.
This is the movie with Tom Hiddleston where he's dancing around a lot.
Oh, yeah. I know that movie. Okay.
This movie is a roller coaster.
Really?
It's crazy. The first act is bonkers. And honestly, one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen.
Really?
You're watching it and you're just like, what is happening? This is scary and upsetting, and I don't understand what's happening or why everybody is so calm about what's happening. Their world is ending. Like stars are going out in the sky, and nobody knows why. Nobody has any answers.
Oh, weird.
And everything is going wrong all at once. And it's terrifying. It's terrifying to watch these characters deal with it. Karen Gillan is
nice.
in it, with Chiwetel Ejiofor and Matthew Lillard. And
it's a hell of a cast.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten to Tom Hiddleston yet. He doesn't show up in the first act of the movie.
Oh, weird.
David Deshmalian has a throwaway line at one point about how it's really frustrating that the internet's gone for a number of reasons, but why did it have to also take the porn?
Oh, nice. That's something he would say.
And then the movie does a full 180. And it becomes a completely different story that has like very high Mike Flanagan coding to it. but it's not scary anymore.
Okay.
And so got into Tom Hiddleston, and he's dancing on the street, and he meets this drummer, and you're just like, oh, okay, this is fun. This is nice. And there's a woman that dances with him, and it's just like this nice, happy, friendly moment. And then we go to the flashback. There's a kid, and he is learning to dance with his grandma. And he has a grandpa who is played by Mark Hamill, who's a little bit of a grouch, but also very warm, but also a grouch. And he has a room that you can never go in. Never go in that room. Do not go in that room. That room is locked for a reason. Don't steal my keys and never go in that room. Never, ever, 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 ever go in that room. And you're just like, okay, what the fuck? And it's just like all this sadness and mystery. And you're just like, what is going on with this? I don't understand what's happening. And then the finish is just like, oh, shit. Oh my God. Okay. All right. I get it. I get it now. I see how all this comes together. Okay. That whole thing in the beginning with the world. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
What is this streaming on?
This is on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, okay.
Yeah.
So I have Hulu, so I got to
Yeah, no, I really like this one. It was definitely a thinker. When I was watching it, I was kind of off-put by the whole thing.
Okay.
And there was just, because it was just throwing so many things at you. And you were just like, I don't know how to juggle, and you keep throwing balls at me. So I don't know what you want me to do or how I'm supposed to deal with all of this. And then by the end, you've learned to juggle. And it's like, I really like this movie in a weird way. It's definitely a challenge. I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
But I really like this movie a lot. And
nice.
I think it's worth watching.
I'm going to put it on my list.
Yeah. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is that we haven't talked about the Oscar nominations yet. So I wanted to just spend a hot minute talking about that, which is really just to say that while they got some things right, because Sinners being nominated, the highest nominated film, I think is right.
I'm wondering if they did that and they're not going to give them a fucking award.
That's usually what happens, is that the most nominated film usually doesn't actually win that much.
I've rewatched Sinners recently. They need to fucking give that thing as many awards
they
as they
need
can.
to. It needs to be like Mad Max, where it didn't win Best Picture, but it won literally everything else.
Yes.
You know, I think that's what they need to do.
But even like, dude, now's the year that you need to either give it to Sinners or Frankenstein.
This is
you
the thing.
cannot give it to one of these artsy films that no one has seen.
From another country.
Exactly.
That is
well, like the Golden Globes was that Shakespeare one or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Hamnet, which no one fucking saw Hamnet. It might be good, but no one fucking saw it.
They can't give Chloe Zhao another Best Director. Like, you got it. I get it. It's a very touching film, but it has big Shakespeare in Love energy.
Yes.
Of like, oh, this is for a very specific crowd, but I don't think it's the best movie of this year. I think you're a little crazy to say that it's the best movie of this year over Titanic and Saving Private Ryan, but are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yeah. It's Shakespeare in Love, but are you
sure? That has gone down famously as a Weinstein paying off people type of deal.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that the Oscars are still just as political as they ever have been.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I agree with you. I think that this is a year where they can say, well, we nominated it, and then not actually do anything about it.
That's the pandering they've been doing since they opened up the 10 Best Picture films and put on a bunch of films that were popular, but will never fucking win.
Nominated it. Well, that was what was so good about Mad Max, was that it did win so many awards.
But it should have won Best Picture. That one should have won.
It won Best Director.
It did, but that is one of the few occasions where a film, typically, if it wins Best Director, it wins Best Picture. Like 99% of the time, that's what happens. And this was one of the times it doesn't happen, and it's like, I was so mad at that. I was like, dude.
I'll only defend it because Spotlight was a really good movie.
Spotlight was a great movie.
And a way more important movie in the moment.
Okay, it was an important movie, but would you, like, to me, if I'm looking at a film and what goes into making a film and what would be considered a best picture, it was definitely Mad Max because of the technical added side of it, and the acting was tight.
Well, so this is what makes me very mad, is because we're talking about just getting honored by being nominated. They didn't even bestow the honor of Best Director nomination to Guillermo.
Yeah, which is insane.
Which is insane to me.
Fucking insane.
When I first saw the list of nominations, I said, this must be fake, because I haven't found it substantiated anywhere, and Guillermo isn't nominated for Best Director. So this has to be fake. No.
Yeah.
Super real. They just didn't do it.
It's funny. I had that same reaction when I saw how many nominations Sinners got, because they got shit on so bad by the Golden Globes. I'm like, there's no way they got this many.
Yeah.
They fucking did.
Yeah. And so, like, I'm just so frustrated because I want to be hopeful. But at the same time, I look at this and I'm just like, I don't know. The most film of the year by far, in terms of, like, making it like they would have made it in the 1930s, was Frankenstein. And I understand that that doesn't necessarily epitomize what film is, but I do think that it's worth talking about that most of that movie was real. There was augmented elements with CGI, but the vast majority of that movie was done for real. And I think that we need to recognize that that is important and better than the alternative. And if the new age people are angry about that, then put it in the list of other complaints you have about the Oscars. Yeah. Because frankly, I appreciate it, but I think that this is important and we need to talk about it. And that's not to say that the other directors had like these big CGI splashy things, but like their movies were also much smaller. Yeah. It was much easier to do that. You know, Hamnet, the big challenge is costuming. The CGI is going to be used to remove stuff in the background, you know? So like your biggest challenge is costuming. Frankenstein had so many other things that I had to deal with, so many other settings that I had to be in, so much more set dressing that had to be done. It's just a more difficult project to do. And so like the Olympics, which are coming up, sometimes you just give credit for trying to do the really hard thing. And then if you land it, it's an even bigger piece of credit to do it. And he landed.
And I gotta say, they've set themselves up for success with this Oscars. Because quite honestly, and now for those of you who don't know, the Oscars to me was like the Super Bowl. I would take work off. I would make sure no one was around. I would get snacks. I would have it set up, and I would just watch the Oscars. I love them. If you look at the history of the Oscars, starting from the beginning all the way up until like the early 80s, the movies that won Best Picture weren't the artsy ones. They were the popular ones of that day. Even you look back, Citizen Kane, it was the top-selling movie. Gone with the Wind, top-selling movie. Like all of the movies that won up into the, you know, in the 70s, the top-selling movies and the movies that were really popular, also good movies. And then in the 80s and 90s, it got away from, okay, what is a really good, well-made movie, but it's also popular? No, we're going to give it to the most obscure thing that no one saw. And then the viewership went away because people that watched it to say, oh, I hope my movie wins. And then something wins and you're like, I don't fucking know what that is.
Yeah.
Like the Artist, that was an okay movie, but it's like, what the fuck are you doing giving it to the goddamn Artist?
Should we talk about Crash?
Yes.
How that won in a year with so many other movies that were way better. But
now they have it set up where it's like, okay, if you give it to just Best Director, Best Picture, give it to Sinners. It deserves it. Fucking fantastic movie. Great acting. Everything was great about that movie. Is it an art house movie? You can kind of say it's an art house horror movie, but it really isn't. That will make so many people happy. Maybe a couple 70-year-old douchebags that only go to little theater and have the tiny round glasses and watch. They will not watch something if it has a known actor in it. That might make them mad. Who gives a fuck?
No.
This is what you need. You are going to YouTube in 3 years because no one fucking watches your show anymore because you will not give the Best Picture to a movie that fucking deserves it.
Yeah. No, and
you got to, dude.
It's been just like the entirety of the Oscars has just been, especially after last year, just been such a nightmare since the pandemic. I don't even know who's hosting this year.
It might be Conan again.
It might be Conan again. Yeah. I do seem to remember that as well. The thing that left me being like, "Are you shitting me?" was first off, I'm getting a little tired of Yorgish making Emma Stone do these things. It's becoming very much like Lars von Trier.
Yes.
Where he has these incredible women who keep coming back and doing these movies where they get tortured and have sex.
What's her name? Charlotte Dinsburg, I think her last name is.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
She's the one that's in Antichrist and Nymphomaniac, where he abuses, like...
I don't get it.
I don't know how he does.
I don't know why she keeps coming back. I don't know why she's done sex scenes in every movie of his where she gets like very naked. And
did you ever see Nymphomaniac?
No, because I know that there's actual sex on screen.
And Nymphomaniac Part 2, she does a very graphic and visual abortion on herself with a wire hanger.
That sounds like Lars.
But it's her. It's
Yeah.
like, you look at her and it's like, dude, I understand it was a shitty movie, but you were in Independence Day too. Like, you're in these mainstream movies, but then you go do this debauchery shit.
So I don't get why Begonia's being nominated, and frankly, I'm a little tired of Yorgos. I think we also all need a Yorgos break because, while I understand that people that are the same people that love studying French film and Italian film and all this other stuff, they love Yorgos. Frankly, just like I can't watch Emma Stone do these things to herself anymore. It's like watching a friend going through stuff, and you're like, this is making me feel bad at this point. I'm not happy about this. Like,
and
I don't
understand
like it.
why they're throwing him the bone and not like a Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
Like, he never gets shit. Lighthouse is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That didn't get any recognition. Nosferatu, I know we have a couple issues with it, but it's still a great movie. Never got any recognition for that. It's like you're saying, it's they're picking these people that it's like, oh, well, it's super artsy and it's important.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Pick something that's really well made that people have fucking seen.
Yeah.
Like, don't put Jurassic World up there. But
No.
Sinners, Frankenstein, like, get the fucking movies that people seen that were awesome.
Like I do like that they have their annual dad film where they nominated F1. And it's like, that's a classic dad film move.
That's for the Trump crowd. Because
Yeah.
it's like, well, it's like the second Top Gun.
It reminds me of how they'll nominate movies that you will later watch on TNT.
Yeah.
And so, like, the one that I always think of is Ford v Ferrari, which I actually like. I think that's a fun movie.
And I hear F1's good.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I hear it's good, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
And it has a really good cast, but I'm just like, and it's Best Picture? Okay, fine. You have to find 10, I guess. So the last thing that I wanted to bring up was animated features. I'm super pumped that K-Pop Demon Hunters is on the list. I think that if it doesn't win,
It's got to win.
It's like super tone deaf for it not to win.
They usually stay true at that category, because I know, like, Spider-Verse is one.
Yeah.
Both times it was up.
Yeah.
I can't see it not winning.
No, it'd be insane to me if it doesn't win. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about is that the much internally maligned Elio from Disney was nominated for Best Picture.
They have to throw it up.
And I'm just like, they also had Zootopia 2 nominated. And I'm just like, why? But why? Here's the thing. I didn't see Elio, so I can't talk about whether it's good or not. I have no idea. The one thing that I do know, and I did see a lot of, was Disney complaining very, very loudly about no one seeing Elio.
Yeah.
And not understanding why no one saw Elio. And getting the entire wrong message out of no one seeing Elio. And so now to have it nominated, I'm like, you think that this is going to make it better? You think that it's like, oh, well, we made a big stink about it. Let's buy a nomination for Elio. And maybe people will care about it then. And it's just like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've literally heard no one say anything about that movie ever.
No. And that's why I honestly wish they would have done a short theatrical run for Killer of Killers.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why that shouldn't be up there.
That could be nominated, right?
But there wasn't. Wait, Sen, there wasn't a theatrical run for Demon Hunters, was there?
Yeah, they had several.
Oh, they did?
They had like sing-alongs. They put it in theaters like 3 or 4 times after it hit big. Once it hit big and Netflix knew they had a hit,
they put it in the theaters.
Then they put it in theaters and it packed. It packed out theaters.
Because there's, I guarantee there's been a bunch of great animated films that just they don't put out in theaters.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
and they have to
every
put
year.
up that crap.
And then they find whatever Disney did and whatever DreamWorks did, and they find 2 foreign films and one by a British author who no one's ever heard of, but did something important 20 years ago. And they're like, okay, so these are our nominations. And it's I don't know why Elio is here. I don't know why Elio shouldn't be here either, because I haven't watched it. But just to say, like, I think my spider sense is tingling. Because I think that you made this up. I think someone bought this for you. It's a very nice gift, but it also is a gift.
Yeah.
I don't believe this.
I think each year there's that one category where you're like, this should definitely be the winner. K-Pop Demon Hunters is that.
It has to be. I mean, like,
but you could always have the year like when Stallone was up for Creed and they gave it to Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, whatever his name is.
Mark Rylance.
And it's like, oh, you fucked that up big time, motherfucker! Like that. I think that was also a big. I remember when that happened. People were like, "I'm never watching the Oscars."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, no. People get annoyed when the thing that they love isn't honored. They get excited when it is, and then annoyed when it's not.
To
something that they don't know.
Well, not only they don't know, but that no one fucking like. Even Mark Rylance was like, Okay.
Yeah, he was good in Bridge of Spies. I don't think he was the driving force in that movie.
No, and he wasn't even like Oscar caliber.
He played Mousy very well.
Yeah.
But he played the exact same character in Dunkirk.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't really know, I guess is my thing. I don't get it. But, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Sad to say I'm not watching the Oscars again. This is like probably 4th year in a row.
I might record it and then watch it back later. I don't think I'm going to watch it live.
I can't. Like what I'll do is I'll go to the IMDb throughout and they update who wins. But I won't watch it.
No. Well, and that's the other thing is that the show was never great, but it's somehow gotten worse. It was a lot worse. It was one of those things where for years the complaint about the show was that it was too long and that it was boring and that the host was bad.
Yeah.
And all of those things are true to a degree. The show is no longer too long because now they're just skipping entire sections of the show. Yeah. So that's worse.
And I got to say, I kind of got lucky. Because I was there in the heyday with Billy Crystal.
I know. I've never seen a Billy Crystal hosted
was
Oscars.
Like that's when the heyday was. But even then, I think the problem they're having now is the same problem that a lot of late night talk shows are having.
Yeah.
It's not the world has changed where you can't be sanitized. I guess is the best word. That's the reason why the Ricky Gervais Golden Globes were so successful, because he went out there, just said whatever the fuck he wanted to say.
Yeah.
And some hit, some didn't, but the ones that hit, whoo, they hit.
They hit.
And it's like, that's the thing, is now they have these hosts that go out and they do these pre-written, terrible sanitized jokes. People are trying to be like, oh, I'm trying to be edgy. You're not edgy.
Well, and like, at least in the case of the Golden Globes, it's like hosts that I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And like with this, I don't even know who it is. I'm guessing it's Conan O'Brien. I don't know. And so like I go back the last few years, they had no host at times. I can't think of a good hosting experience recently. I think the most recent one,
Conan is hosting this.
Yeah. I think Conan did okay in the scenes that I saw last year where I watched him on YouTube. I'm trying to think, like I still go back to Hugh Jackman was a really good host. I thought that he did a great job hosting that one year.
Well, here's the thing. He did a great opening number. But then the hosting was cringy. Some of the jokes and stuff. That's the problem, is you need that person. And that's why Billy Crystal was so good. It's because he was good at improvising.
Yeah.
You need that person that can improvise off of moments that happen throughout the show.
See, that's my thing, is that I'm thinking back to hosts and like the thing that I like about Hugh Jackman is that I do remember his opening number and I don't remember any of his bits. The thing that I don't like about Ellen DeGeneres is that I don't remember her opening number and I really hated all of her bits.
So her bits were terrible.
Her bits were terrible. Terrible. I have the same problem with Kimmel. Kimmel had a decent opening.
Yes.
And then terrible bits the entire show.
Yep.
Stop making it... Listen, the show is already long enough. Do not stop the show so you can pass out pizza to people.
Yeah.
I'm begging you. I'm asking so enthusiastically.
The tourists come in and like say hi to all
Stop slowing things down. We're already literally skipping things in the show.
Yeah.
If you're skipping things in the show, then just start writing out comedic bits, because we're here for the show. We're not here for Jimmy Kimmel. No one is here for Jimmy Kimmel. If you want to have an offhand joke every once in a while, sure, go ahead. That's fine. We don't need bits.
No. And I'll be honest, that is one of the things that got worse throughout the 80s into the 90s is the speeches.
Yeah.
Went from thanking like a couple people and saying how grateful they were to thanking every person that worked on the movie and all of their agents. And that dragged. And it's become the running joke. But it's like, instead of making a joke, you need to tell these fucking people, I don't give a shit who you want to thank. You need to keep it concise. And I go back to the Joe Pesci, where he comes up when he won for Goodfellas and said, I'm very appreciative, thank you. And walked off stage. Yeah. And everyone's like, it's the greatest thank you speech ever. Like, the emotional ones are nice when they're talking about like family and stuff. That's fine. When you're rambling on about your agent and your lawyers and all, it's like
all the producers on the thing.
That's not, and what these fucking people got to understand is, it's not about all of that. Like people, like if you win for best costume for a movie you love, people want to hear you.
Yeah.
Like when RRR won for best song, and they got up there and they said, the guy, I can't remember his fucking name, who was the one that spoke out of the two of them, and he said, I grew up listening to the Carpenters. And to be here and to be in this situation. And he sang a little Carpenter's blurb where he intertwined winning for Bollywood and how India was proud. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then he walked off stage. The other guy said namaste, and that was it. And they walked off stage, and it's like, that's fucking great. They didn't ramble on about this person is my hero, and this guy's a genius, and every director has to be a fucking a genius, and they were so warm. It's like, okay, they're fucking, that's what they're paid to be, because they're paid to massage your fucking egos.
That's the big thing, is like, I like a speech where it's about thanking your loved ones, your friends, the people who supported you. You don't need to talk about what the AD did for your acting performance. You don't need to talk about what the producer did while you were making costumes. You know, like, I get it, you want to thank your boss, but like at the same time, way down on the list, your boss didn't win the award, you won the award.
Yeah.
If the boss wanted to win the award, then they should have got it nominated like you did, but they didn't. But you did.
Exactly.
So you won, so take that time for you.
Yeah.
Don't make it about them, make it about you. So, and if you have to do bits, have it be like Ben Stiller on the elevator that stops, so he's really short.
Yes.
If you have to do bits that are part of the nominations.
You don't want to see John Cena naked?
Oh my God.
Envelope over his dick? You don't want to see that?
And he's visibly uncomfortable, even though that's part of the bit, is that he's supposed to be uncomfortable. But then why is he out here if he's uncomfortable? It doesn't make any sense as a bit.
Funny to you?
It's not funny.
That's not funny to you?
So, like, have good, tasteful bits. If you're going to do bits, have them be good, tasteful bits around reading the nominations.
And that also goes into, they need to pick the right people to do the presenting of the awards, because they put these people together who are obviously there to sell their next movie coming out, and obviously they're fucking chemistry. And I'm calling out Snow White.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, maybe think before you do this.
Last year was such a disaster of a ceremony.
It was fucking
Everything
terrible.
about it was, top to bottom, the entire thing was a fiasco.
It was horrible.
It was so bad, right down to the nominations and everything. All of it was bad.
Yeah.
It was spectacularly bad. It was really incredible how bad it could be.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully this will be better.
I don't know.
And if the ones that are layups don't win, I'm going to be pissed. I'm not going to
be shocked.
Yeah.
I would be more shocked.
I'm not going to be shocked, but I will be pissed.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.